again, good evening po sa inyong lahat at welcome po sa isa namang episode ng Tech Sabado. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course, the Manila Times. Siyempre, may usapan na naman teknolohiya tayo dito at 10 taon na po natin itong ginagawa. Pero bagong lahat, i-introduce ko po ang ating mga co-host dito sa ating programa. Siyempre, unahin ko na ang ating kachokaran since 2015. Walang iba kundi si Atty.
Melvin Calimag po, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Nandito po tayo sa PLDT Ramon Coanco Building sa Makati. And of course, kasama pa rin natin ang ating mga collaborators from Limang Siglo, led by J.R. Contreras and his staff angels. Okay, Jing.
And of course, every Saturday, kasama din natin ang ating regular co-host na walang iba kundi ang Tito ng San Pablo, Laguna. Walang iba kundi si Tito.
Magandang gabi po. Tito Tribs, Raymund Tribdino po ng The Manila Times, Tech Sabado at ng cleantechniga.com. Magandang gabi po sa lahat.
At gaya po ng sinabi ko, every week, 8 to 9 p.m. tayo dito sa ating mga programa digitally, sa YouTube, and of course, sa social media channels natin like Facebook, Instagram, and of course, sa Spotify na rin po kami. Dati nasa Spotify naman kami, pero tinamad na ako mag-upload. Pero ngayon, because of our new collaborators na talagang todo naman ang suporta sa atin, binalik tayo sa Spotify. Kung ayaw nyo makita mga pagmumukha namin dito sa ating mga social media platforms, pwedeng pakinggan nyo na lang ang aming mga DJ na boses. Ngayong linggo po, pag-usapan natin mga usapang ulap. Alam naman natin, pag in English natin ang ulap, it's about cloud. And ano po ang buzzword sa technology parating ngayon is cloud computing. Dahil sinabi ko, cloud computing has quietly become the digital backbone of modern business, powering everything from startups and enterprises to government services and artificial intelligence o yung tinatawag na AI. Among the companies driving the transformation is this transformation is of course Amazon Web Services o yung tinatawag na AWS sa maraming nakakaalam dyan, whose cloud computing platform has helped organizations around the world build, innovate, and scale at unprecedented speed. Yan, pabilisan yan eh. Pagdating sa cloud, pag wala ka sa cloud, baka pwede ka maiiwan. At isa sa mga tinututukan ng AWS, itong mga small, medium enterprises na kayang-kaya na magkaroon ng enterprise class platform sa kanilang mga businesses. In the Philippines, AWS continues to expand its presence by working with businesses, developers, educational institutions, and the public sector to accelerate digital transformation while building local cloud and AI capabilities. As demand for secure, scalable, and intelligent digital infrastructure continues to grow, the role of cloud platforms has never been significant. In this episode, we take a closer look at AWS and AWS Philippines na nagse-celebrate na ng kanilang 10th year sa Pilipinas, its technologies, its growing ecosystem, and how cloud and AI are reshaping the country's digital future. Joining us in our special guest who will share insights into the opportunities, challenges, and the next chapter of cloud innovation in the Philippines. Siyempre, walang iba kundi si Ms. Precious Lim, the country manager of Amazon Web Services Philippines. She leads the company's local business strategy and works closely with enterprises, government agencies, startups, educational institutions, yan ang importante dyan na yung mga startups at mga educational institutions, and technology partners to help accelerate digital transformation through cloud computing and artificial intelligence. With extensive experience in enterprise technology and business leadership, Ms. Lim has been at the forefront of helping Philippine organizations modernize their IT infrastructure, embrace innovation, and of course, build digital resilience. Under her leadership, AWS Philippines continues to expand its local ecosystem while supporting skills development, cloud adoption, and AI readiness across industries. Please join us in welcoming Precious Lim, Country Manager of AWS Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you.
Haba ng intro. Ganun talaga.
Thank you so much, Jing and Tito Tribs.
Yes.
Atty. Melvin, for having me here. I'm very happy to be here with
Yes.
Tech Sabado and excited to share a lot about what AWS is doing para sa Pilipinas.
Oo.
No?
Good evening, Precious.
Oo,
Yan,
good
no?
20 years na ang AWS as a company in the US, di ba? Tapos 10 years na rin sa Philippines, tulad ng Tech Sabado. 10
Oh,
years.
wow. Sabay pala tayo.
Magkaedad tayo,
Trivia ulit. Nagsa-start tayo mag-cover ng AWS sa Amerika. Also at about the time that Tech Sabado was starting.
Oh,
Diba?
Ayun.
Cool fun fact.
Yes.
Pero si Precious, more than ilang years ka na sa industry.
Nako.
Oo.
Sige, na nga, share
Ano
mo.
yung, medyo bigyan mo kami ng
Background.
konting background
Sure.
ng Precious.
Yeah, so I've been with the industry for more than 25 years now.
Wow.
Yes, been working with mostly enterprises, small and medium businesses. I also had a stint with consumer and devices. I've been working heavily with partners and across different teams, no? Serving transformation, the initiatives of our customers.
When did you join AWS?
I joined AWS almost 6 years ago. 2020, actually, January of 2020,
As
just
what?
before the
As a country
pandemic.
manager?
No, as an account director at
Oh,
the
okay.
time. And then after that, I moved on to be the enterprise greenfield lead, and then head of enterprise, and then starting last year as country manager.
The fact na may AWS Philippines, ibig sabihin may business talaga dito ang ang AWS. Can you share that kung ano yung mga businesses na gumagamit ng AWS?
Yeah, so Jing, that is actually an understatement, no? Talagang there is a huge market and opportunity and potential in our country, regardless of business size. So from startups to small and medium businesses, to enterprises, government institutions, schools, educational facilities, right? Lahat yan, merong initiative and merong desire to transform the way that they work, the way that they serve their customers, the way that they use technology, and AWS is here to really assist them and guide them through this transformation. And that is what we have been doing for the past 10 years in the Philippines.
Precious, bago tayo pumunta dyan, no? Gusto ko lang siguro, kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga nanonood ng Tech Sabado, mga techie.
Oo.
Naintindihan kung ano yung
Transformation.
ginagawa.
Minsan kasi umuwi ako ng probinsya namin, nandun ako sa Sierra Madre.
Oo.
Deep in the Sierra Madre, kasi pumunta kami isang parang parang falls doon. Nakita ako na doon sa episode natin about EVs. So ito yung mga tech. Can you discuss what is cloud computing at ano yung business nyo here in the Philippines?
Oh,
Sige.
bakit Amazon ang bibigay nitong platform na to?
Sige. So, AWS and in general, cloud computing is about the on-demand delivery of IT services. No? Which is on a pay-as-you-go model. So, ibig sabihin, if I am a small business sa probinsya, kailangan kong mag-activate, for example, ng aking website. No? I don't need to anymore buy yung hardware na kailangan para
Server
yung
or
server,
whatever,
kung whatever, di ba? Because I can just spin up a compute resource in AWS and voila, meron ka ng tumatakbong website. You can also use AWS para patakbuhin yung payroll mo, yung time in, time out, o HR systems mo. So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-procure or bumili ng mga hardware and all of these servers at
So, yung
mag-antay
mga software,
ka pa.
di ba, na mahal.
Yes, yung software, pwede mo rin bilhin sa AWS through Marketplace
Sa
kung ano yung
Marketplace,
kailangan mo.
correct.
But
Ano lang yung
kung-
kailangan mo.
It speeds up yung pag-activate mo ng kailangan mo ng IT resources. Bukod ron, kung all of a sudden, sabi mo, ay, hindi ko na to kailangan because for whatever
yes,
reason, you can just turn it off. So,
So parang utility company, parang
Yes.
tubig o kuryente.
parang kuryente. Pag di mo, matutulog ka na, sara mo. No? Kung gigising ka na, on mo.
Basta mo-monitor mo pa yung gastos mo.
Basta mo-monitor
Especially with IT services.
That's
no?
correct.
Kumbaga,
Yes.
hindi mo na kailangan magtayo ng sariling planta o kaya ng water reservoir para tumakbo yung ano mo, yung whatever man yung gusto mong gawin, no?
Exactly.
So perfect talaga to sa mga, especially for startup companies, no? I remember kasi when AWS first entered the scene, parang ang expectation nila ng mga tao na you can get us kahit na wala kang IT people
Yes.
sa company mo. Kasi kaya mo nang kasi yung mga tao pag natatayo ng business, kailangan ko yata ng IT kasi puro computer gagamitin ko, yung mga apps nandiyan, anong gagamitin ko. Pero yun ang ino-offer ng AWS di ba? Lalo for mga startup companies. So wala naman talagang tao. Kunwari ako lang magtatayo ng cafe, ako lang, di ba? Pero wala akong accountant, wala akong server, hindi ko kailangan yun ng offer ng AWS, di ba?
So you don't have to think about it and you
Yes.
can focus on what you want. Sabi nga nila, you bring your idea, no? Specifically for startups, for example. And we have helped hundreds of startups, right? Especially in the Philippines, na we help them grow and develop the idea. Kung ano man yung gusto nilang maging negosyo in the future, and then we take care of yung infrastructure na kailangan nila to make
yung
it
IT
happen.
infrastructure
yung IT
nila for
infrastructure.
their business.
Oo.
Okay. So, walang pinipiling kind of industry. Basta kailangan nila tong service na available sa inyo, applicable sa kanila.
Good question, Jing. So yes, across all industries, whether sa FSI and banking ba yan, sa telecommunications, so sa manufacturing, retail, yun nga sabi ko kanina, even with government and schools, as long as you need technology, AWS is there to provide you the infrastructure that you need.
Balik tayo sa lubog lang tayo ng konti because in the Philippines, 90% of what fuels the economy are MSMEs. My experience with AWS, TechSabado.com is hosted on a free tier. Started with the free tier of AWS. So, ang daling na setup. Pumili lang ako sa marketplace ng gagamitin to create a WordPress site and I put it there. So, if I were a startup now and I wanted to do, say, ride hailing, kasi dami niyan, or delivery services, will it follow the same experience that I had?
Yes. So, specific to AWS startups, yung programs namin are aligned with the journey of a startup,
Okay.
no? Kunwari, nag-uumpisa ka pa lang, automatically, if you go to the website, AWS for Startups, meron na agad doon register. And right then and there, you can already get $100 of credits, no? Para you can test it, you can get started. Ngayon, of course, you will go through the journey, bootstrap ka, you're self-funding, up to the time na meron nang mag-invest sa'yo, and you already offer it at scale, no? At each step of the journey, there is an AWS program.
Okay.
So after the $100, meron kaming AWS for Startups. Ang tawag namin doon sa credit program is Activate.
Okay.
And if you go to the site, it will tell you can get up to $200,000 dollars of credits. Before na, 100,000 yun eh. We revamped it. No, it's now 200,000. Of course, there is a vetting process. Dapat clear yung idea mo, right? And you should have a website. Sino yung mga members of the organization? But there is a program at every step of your startup journey that AWS is providing startups.
How many startups now? How many startups have AWS Fuel?
Yeah, so thousands of startups worldwide. I will give you the number. I don't have it handy right now.
An example
Tribs.
in the Philippines.
An example is Kumu.
Okay.
No, so si Kumu
Yung
is
streaming platform.
streaming, and then at some yung Kumu nagsimula, ang ibig sabihin nun kumusta.
Kamusta?
Kaya sinorten nila to
Correct,
Kumu, no?
correct.
So it allows you to get connected with your network, with your friends and contacts. Alam ko, meron ding exchange doon of, it's also a commercial platform, right? So yun, nagsimula talaga sila from ideation all the way up to what they are now.
Kumu is really powerful because so our the former CEO of the Manila Times, Dante Klinkang, is now the head of the Commission on Filipinos Overseas. Yung Kumu is very strong with the Filipino diaspora.
Yeah, so
Ang lakas niyan. So, it's all live streaming platforms and so on. I think what happens with them, with AWS, is dahil ang dami nilang, they have to scale. Dahil ang daming mga pumapasok na videos and they have to keep that and scale it. So I think that's why they're using AWS as a platform. Panalo yung Kumu.
That's a good point, no?
Oo,
Yung scaling,
scalability,
yung
oo.
scalability. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, if you need more capacity, again,
resources,
to my point earlier, right? Hindi mo na kailangan umorder ulit ng server mo kasi kailangan mo ng mas malaking capacity. So it scales up and down according to
Switch on ka lang,
what
no?
you need.
Sa app.
Oo. So especially for online businesses and sites. For example, ngayon uso yung may sale, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 11-11, right? So in those times, alam mo na ang traffic will be higher. So you'll need bigger capacity.
yes.
So in the cloud, you just need to increase mo lang yung capacity ng computing
Just for that
instance.
time, di ba yung time na yun? Tapos pag tapos na, balikan na
Baba mo
baba ulit.
That's why we believe ang cloud talaga is the great equalizer,
Yeah.
no, Tito Tribs. Kasi nga, it allows SMBs and startups access to the latest technology, even if they are not enterprise in terms of size.
Oh, yes.
No? Even if yung resources nila hindi naman katulad ng mga malalaking enterprises.
I'm
but
sure sa
they have
Philippines, ang
access.
ganda, maganda yung reception kasi nga, kanina, more than 90%, di ba? Ang
90%
SME market natin sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
Pero klaro lang natin, bago tayo mag-break, iba po yung Amazon na ino-orderan nyo ng products dun dito sa AWS na
Mother company yun.
Mother company.
nagpo-provide ng ng cloud services. Pero yes, mother company nila yung Amazon sa USA. Okay, magbabalik po ang Tech Sabado at pag-usapan pa natin more about cloud services ng AWS. Okay, we're back dito sa Tech Sabado and again, we're still talking to Precious Lim, Country Manager of Amazon Web Services Philippines. Pag-uusapan po natin dito, usapang ulap. Cloud computing, kung saan po, I'm sure, narinig niyo yan parate, yung mga bigyan lang natin example sila kasi baka mamaya naliligaw pa sila. Ano ba yung ano ba yung cloud na yan? Yan po yung kunyari may Gmail kayo, yung mga mail nyo nasa cloud yan. Perfect example ng cloud service yan. So, yung AWS naman, yung mga services naman na kailangan ng mga businesses na, like for example, accounting, di ba? Kaya accounting or
Mga
even
software.
storage, mga software, yung mga
Enterprise
ganyan.
resource.
Na hindi na, usually kasi binibili yung mga software ng mga
And
yung hardware, saka yung mga software, binibili yan ng malalaking kumpanya. Pag hindi nyo afford, pwede nyo puntahan ng AWS dahil may mga offering sila na sigurado magugustuhan nyo para sa mga IT services and IT resources na kailangan ninyo. And pinag-usapan natin si Precious kanina because, attorney?
They were in the news recently.
Yes.
Nasa Malacanang sila. No? So, alam niyo naman, pag nasa Malacanang, medyo
High profile.
high profile. And kasi si Bongbong, President Bongbong Marcos met with global executives from not just regional, right?
Yes.
And there was a
Announcement?
announcement na potential 5 billion.
Wow.
Billion Jing Hindi million. At dollars. Dollars.
Hindi pesos.
Oo. So, precious. Now,
Pagkwento natin kay Precious ano nangyari sa
kailan darating
palasyo.
yung 5 billion na yan? Ano ba yan?
I-explain mo nga sa amin, Precious.
5 billion.
5 billion.
billion. B.
Sige, thank you for asking that question, and I know that
Kailangan natin investment
a lot of people got excited with that news or post coming from the presidential communications team. No?
So
yes, we met
what
with them.
triggered the visit? Because of that, ba?
We regularly visit naman talaga. So nagkataon.
Lacks may face value.
We regularly visit naman talaga, and we are always working closely with our government.
Yes,
no?
of course.
So ano nga yung tanong ulit? What was the meeting about, correct?
Yes.
Oo, sige.
Kailan darating yung 5 billion na yan?
Sandali!
Monies!
Yeah, okay. So, just like what I said, 10 years
Baka i-announce na ni BBM sa SONA.
Well, I cannot comment on
dyan
what
na
his
yan.
talk track will be, right? So given na 10 years na ang AWS sa Philippines and 20 years na kami globally, it was just about proper for us, right, in AWS to pay the President a visit para sabihin sa kanya na, ito na yung mga transformation na that we help across the country, across different industries, no? Now, we were talking about ano ba yung next phase in terms of investments coming from AWS. So, yeah, we talked about that. Depende, syempre, sa kung ano yung kailangan ng mga customers namin sa Pilipinas, and how supportive the government is in terms of national infrastructure. Yan yung mga kailangan i-evaluate ng cloud company like AWS. Regulations ba friendly that will allow for investments to come in, right? Power, energy, water, right? All of these. So, ang commitment ni AWS ay 100% para sa Philippines. Okay? Our commitment is that we will continue to surface signals coming from the government, coming from the private sector, yung customers namin, in terms of what is needed in terms of infrastructure investment from AWS for the Philippines. So, and in fact, even before the President BBM meeting, we have actually been investing continuously in the country. So first of all, meron kaming direct connect sa Pilipinas, which means that for any workload that's running coming from the Philippines, diretso yan sa closest data center. Right now, most customers are using Singapore, right?
Okay.
Yung second is we have Manila local zone, right? So para sa mga customers na kailangan ng single-digit latency to run their workloads, we have Manila local zone. So we have investment in infrastructure in the Philippines, yung Manila local zone. Second,
what kind of investment in servers?
Yeah, is that a data center? Do you have a...
it's in a data center. Think of it as an extension of Singapore.
Okay. Within a local data center.
So it's in the country, no? It's in
So,
Manila.
nandito sa Philippines
Siyempre,
yung
I
data
cannot
center.
divulge the location,
yeah,
di ba? What else? We have AWS outposts. Outposts naman, especially for far-flung areas, sa mga remote sites, lalo na pagka yung internet stability is not at the level na kailangan, no? We have AWS outposts so that customers can continue to run their workloads regardless of kung ano yung status ng connectivity. When they are online again, it will continue to pass back
the
Singapore.
outpost is a physical setup, right?
The outpost is a physical it's an appliance, exactly what we use in our data centers. We deploy it in customer premises.
Okay.
So kung ang customer gusto niya,
On-premise.
on-premise, sa data center niya, or sa remote location niya,
Correct.
we have AWS Outpost. So ang
Parang
example
private cloud?
nun, different. So ang example nun, ang gumagamit na to si Pilmico Foods Corporation.
Okay.
They have already deployed it. Alam niyo naman si Pilmico, ano siya, food manufacturing, di ba? And yung mga sites niya, far-flung, remote. So, nag-deploy sila ng outpost. And their plan is to continue to deploy in 6 more sites.
Wow.
And that is happening right now.
Ganun kalaki ang workload nila to have an outpost.
Kailangan
Oo,
kasi nila
kailangan,
mag-process ng
Correct.
data nila. Second is we also have EKS Anywhere. Medyo
Okay.
technical.
Ano naman yun?
Yep,
Oo.
yep.
So, for customers naman, also, they can deploy this in their data center kung meron silang Kubernetes workloads,
Okay.
containerized, and gusto nila it's in their data center. We
Okay.
also have EKS Anywhere.
When they choose outposts and when they choose all of this hardware, does it have to do with data sovereignty, does it have to do with
Okay,
that mostly?
sige, I'll address that question. Thanks for asking that, Tito Tribs. Actually, right now, there is no law that says that data should be
Correct.
in the Philippines, no? The Philippines continues to be green, meaning
Correct.
very open in terms of data transmission. It's the requirement of the customer. Kung
Okay.
kailangan nila ito, kasi gusto nila, sabi ko nga, single digit
Okay.
millisecond latency, right? So it's the discretion of the customer kung gusto niya dito.
Okay.
So it just so happens, si Pilmico gusto niya, malapit dun sa site niya, so we have AWS Outpost.
Okay.
But do you feel na may clamor for data sovereignty?
Especially for the financial,
Oo.
for banking.
Sige. So, well, you can read the news, right? I cannot comment on something that
Okay.
is not yet existing, kumbaga, di ba? You can read up on what
Kasi
organizations...
sa Congress, yun ang pinag-uusapan. Hindi ko naman gusto mong lumayo. Pero di ba yan ang ating yung data sovereignty, AI effectiveness, yung mga ganun yung mga nila, no? Pinag-uusapan nila sa Congress. And I'm sure, naapektuhan dito syempre, karamihan naman ng mga services like AWS is from abroad. Wala naman local provider ng mga ganyan kalalaki na scalable na platforms, no? So, yung balik tayo sa investment, is that a hyperscale?
Oh, that's a good question. 5 billion.
5 billion eh. Is that for a hyperscaler,
Sige. Yeah. Wala
thing?
pa. Yeah. Hindi ko pa, kumbaga, I am not in the position as of today to share
Kung ano talaga.
yung pinakadetalye, no? But it is about AWS giving President Marcos our commitment that we will continue to invest in the country.
Pero that figure came from AWS, yung 5 billion.
I cannot comment on that. Melvin.
Ganun?
Oo.
Okay.
Since in-open ko yung word, bringing up ko yung word na hyperscaler, kasi meron nga recently, no, yung mga telecoms and even government is trying to, trying to attract hyperscalers here in the Philippines, especially for data centers. Yan po yung mga malalaking data centers na talagang...
Kasi nakakaingit, Tito Jing, di ba? Malaysia, Vietnam, they have their... Bakit tayo wala?
May recently, may yung investments, total investment sa Southeast Asia.
Yes.
Pang-anim ba tayo? Number 1 is Singapore, of course.
Number one is Singapore.
Number 2 is Indonesia.
Correct.
Nasa 20 billion ng ang Singapore, and then Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. Sa atin is 9 billion lang. Pero kung magpa 5 billion ka,
tataas tayo.
tataas tayo bigla.
Pero yeah,
14 billion.
ano nakikita,
yeah.
what do you see na nagiging, siyempre I'm sure nasa news naman, na bakit yung Philippines hindi yata makapag-attract masyado ng ganitong mga investments. So what can you chime on what's the challenges ang nakikita mo?
Sige. Jing, I can only talk about AWS's commitment sa Pilipinas. No, I cannot answer how
what
others
are the others
are
planning,
oo,
yes.
oo. So, ulitin ko, committed ang AWS in investing in the Philippines. Just like what I have already explained earlier in terms of infrastructure investments that we have local zone, outpost, EKS Anywhere, Amazon Connect for CX transformation platform. We can now provision local numbers. So, we will continue to pick up signals from government and the private sector, our customers, in terms of the infrastructure that is needed in the Philippines, especially for cloud and now artificial intelligence. So yun ang commitment from AWS.
Pero anong kailangan ibigay ng Pilipinas?
So, of course...
Lower electricity rates, land, or water resources, kasi alam natin, data centers, yung reklamo, environmental issues. So, ano ba ang kailangan natin bigay para makuha yung 5 billion na yun?
Siyempre, open and friendly regulations no, for investors such as Amazon. And everything that is required to build a data center. So, we will share more in the coming month siguro.
Let's talk about your 20 years as a company. What basically changed or ano yung naging tingin mo evolution over the years?
Sure, sige. So, we started March of 2006. And that is when we first introduced S3, our storage service. Ang sabi ni AWS at that time, we want for anyone who has a credit card to have access to the latest technology. So doon siya nagsimula, no? S3. And then come 2014, we released Lambda, which is a first of its kind modern serverless infrastructure. So syempre nagsimula sa US and then we expanded to EMEA, to Europe, and then Asia Pacific, and then of course yun na, kasama na yung Pilipinas doon, no? Fast forward to today, we are happy that we now have 39 regions and 123 availability zones across the world.
Wow.
So which means that we are really able to serve markets from different locations, and I love saying this, across companies of different sizes talaga siya. No, from whether you're a startup, SMB,
From 1 to
all the
1
way.
million
Yeah,
thousands.
so because of the cloud, no?
Ano yung demographics ninyo? How much of your services are being availed by enterprises? And how much is the from SMEs?
Yeah. So Melvin, pasensya ka na, I will not be able to divulge that information. No, but what I can say is that companies of different sizes are using AWS.
From the smallest to the biggest?
From the smallest to the biggest.
From one
right?
employee nga to thousands of employees.
Correct. So if we will cite examples, no, magsimula tayo sa mga malalaki in telecommunications and banking. So Globe and PLDT are both using AWS, modernizing their applications and running them on the cloud. Globe is specifically focused on customer experience, know how they are serving their customers. PLDT, they just recently launched, and I will touch a bit on AI. Their Store Genie, no, it's AI powered. They rolled this out across all of their PLDT and smart stores, wireless and wireline. 98% ang improvement sa customer response time nila, which is good. For banks, of course, and FSI, we have Union Bank. Right, si Union Bank has been very vocal in saying that they are using AWS. Right, they've even deployed Quick Suite across their board members so that they can easily retrieve information and make decisions. GCash serving millions of Filipinos and having all of millions of transactions every minute runs on AWS. Maya as well. No? So
lahat na lang.
And then of course even before nga we have put up our office in the Philippines, retailers like Jollibee, KFC have already been using AWS. Even Motolite for their delivery, right? O nasa AWS yan.
The fact that these big enterprises are still using AWS, yung trust level ang tindi na, 'di ba? Tapos i-offer mo pa sa mga small businesses, no? So, doon mo makikita talaga kung gaano ka effective from the biggest to the smallest yung AWS. Anyway, babalik po ang Tech Sabado after a few reminders lang.
Precious Lim, and I am the Country Manager of AWS Philippines. I encourage you all to like, share, and follow all of the social media pages of Tech Sabado. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Melvin Calimag of Newsbytes.ph.
Jing Garcia of the Manila Times.
Raymund Tribdino, Tito Tribs ng Manila Times at ng cleantechnica.com.
Please like,
Share
Follow Tech Sabado
Tech Sabado.
Tech Sabado.
sa YouTube at Facebook.
Kanina, Jing, pinag-uusapan natin yung extent ng clients ng
AWS.
and that's from enterprises down to the smallest SMEs, no. Kaya pinag-usapan natin, gusto natin pag-usapan paano kung sinunok sila or di ba karon
downtime. Oo.
Correct.
How-
Kaya
what's the,
yung tanong diyan talaga is actually redundancy.
Oo.
Yes.
Diba? Ano ang grade?
Kasi
Sige.
tantamount to national security kasi nga kapag
Everything.
nag-down,
lahat
lahat
down,
tayo
oo.
apektado.
Correct.
Kasi pag parang walang tubig, pag lahat kayo nagrereklamo, kaya pag walang kuryente, di ba?
Yes.
Ganun na rin ngayon.
Ganun na rin ngayon, no? Kasi para siyang utility,
Yes.
actually, ang internet.
Very good question. And buti na lang nyo, no? And buti na lang I'm ready with data points.
Yes.
And I will not answer that by stating an AWS report, but better coming from a third party, no? And this is from a study conducted by Frost and Sullivan up to last year. That si AWS, ang performance uptime niya ay 99.62%.
Wow.
99.62%. So the question there is, gaano katagal kayo na downtime?
Sa 99.62.
Oo.
Kaya ko bang sabihin yung ilang hours
Oo,
yun?
ilang hours
Oo.
lang.
But what I can say is that when compared to other providers,
Okay.
AWS is still the highly performant cloud in terms
Okay.
of reliability and uptime.
Okay. 99.62%.
Napaka-importante kasi nun dahil magkaroon ka lang ng downtime na ilang minuto, nagreklamo na lahat. Kita
Sa
nyo nga.
bangko lang eh.
Oh,
Pag
bangko
down lang
yan,
ang Gcash sa
recently,
BPI,
yes,
di ba? Ikaw,
yes.
ang hilig mo magreklamo sa BPI. Di ba? Kasi hindi ka makano eh.
So,
That's
di ka
true.
Makakabayad, oo.
Imagine, nakagat mo na yung hotdog sa 7-Eleven.
Oo, nangyari na sa akin yan.
Hindi ka pa nakakabayad,
Kabayad, oo.
wala pa na offline pala. O, ganun na nga eh, ganun din. Especially nga sa dami ng kliyente at laki ng kliyente ng AWS. Napaka-importante ang uptime saka na walang downtime.
Correct.
Yun.
Reliability.
And redundancy. Yung redundancy na yan, nakatago yan sa mga data center na hindi natin alam kung nasaan.
Correct.
Di ba? Yun na nga, di ba? Ganun yung tiyatago yung mga, kahit sa mga bangko, tiyatago nila yung different locations, yung mga,
Yes, oh.
yung mga ano nila.
At saka hindi lang isa yan,
Hindi.
marami.
Yes, marami.
Kasi,
Parang
yan,
ulit.
For
Kaya,
I can explain that, no?
Sige.
So, in AWS architecture, every region will have at least 3 availability zones.
Okay.
Availability zones, and in each availability zone, it will be comprised of 2 to 3 data centers as well. So, ganun siya ka-redundant.
Explain natin yung region, availability zone, data center.
Oo.
Breakdown natin.
Sige. So, yung region, so let's use Singapore as an example.
Okay.
We have an AWS region in Singapore.
Sakop niya ang
What do you mean sakop?
Meaning
So anyone,
country-
you can connect kasi you can choose which
yes,
region you
But
activate
di ba
your
normally,
compute.
you're looking at distance or you're looking at latency and so on. So Philippines, it's best to connect to Singapore rather than Virginia. Di ba? Parang ganon.
It depends on what your workload and your
Okay.
application requires. In ASEAN, we have Singapore, we have Thailand,
Yep.
no, and we also have Indonesia and Malaysia.
Sana
no? So
Philippines.
you can choose among the
Okay.
4 if you want closest to the Philippines, right? And then, so in each region ang tawag doon, yung nandun sa 4 na bansa na yon. And then in each region, meron siyang availability zones. And in each availability zone, it will be comprised of several data centers as well.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Marami kang pagkoconnect.
yes. And when you design your how you're architected and how you're deployed on the cloud, it's up to you kung paano yung redundancy mo and paano
Okay.
yung failover.
may chance ba magkaroon ng availability zone Philippines?
So, right now, we have the Manila local zone.
Okay.
Oo,
Local
it connects
zone,
to
yes.
Singapore.
Okay.
No? So you can think of it as like an availability zone, right? That connects to Singapore.
Yun ang nearest. No? Okay.
Okay, Precious, when we talk about cloud, it's almost impossible not to talk about AI.
Yes.
It's on the race
Yes.
right now.
Of
Okay.
course. Oo.
So, what is the current status of AI in terms of yung cloud infrastructure
Sige.
for AWS?
Okay. Actually, the cloud has been super instrumental in the way that customers are using artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence is proliferating across organizations and users. Kasi syempre, you need a stable and a robust infrastructure to do the training and inference. In the Philippines, if your question is about AI adoption in the Philippines,
Yes.
is that okay?
Wow.
So we conducted a study last year on AI, and from that study, we were able to see that there are about 250,000 organizations in the Philippines that are already either experimenting or using AI, no,
okay.
in the way that they work and the way that they operate. 27% increase, if I remember correctly, from the previous year. So, ibig sabihin, yung adoption is really there.
Yes.
No?
Across
and
industries.
Across industries and across sizes, business sizes. I know what your next question will be. Ano ba yung naghihinder for it to really scale,
Yep.
no? We're going back to skills and readiness ng mga tao when it comes to AI. That's why in AWS,
Bakit muna? Bakit?
Oo.
Maghihinder yung skills. Bakit skills?
so there are people who have not really gone through training, no, formal training.
Hindi kasi tinuro sa schools di ba?
Oo,
After pa After pa kung kailan ka na employed, tsaka pag mo lang malaman, di
nung
ba?
nasa school tayo, nung panahon natin,
Wala pa.
di
So
ba?
ngayon kailangan ng reskilling.
Yeah, kailangan, correct, reskill or upskill.
Upskill.
Oo, kasi marami naman ngayon, lalo na sa mga kabataan, and all of us who are, very close to tech, we have been using it, right?
Yes.
But you need to continue to reskill and upskill and just really continue experimenting with it para magamay mo kumbaga, di ba? So sa AWS, so far, because we have a commitment in terms of upskilling our people, I'm happy to share that we have already trained 280,000 Filipinos.
Wow, dami.
No? To date,
Okay.
oo. I think our last update, I think that was last year, Melvin, 100,000, no? So today, it's official, 280,000.
Doble.
Oh, well, more than double,
Pero paano
right?
ginawa itong initiative na to?
Yes, good. So, we partnered with several organizations. So, number one, siguro I'll start with Restart. We have a Restart program where we train and upskill people who have been displaced, unemployed, underemployed. We train them on cloud. It's a 3-month training all the way up to certification. Kami ang nagsushoulder nun, kumbaga, it's our way of contributing to the upskilling. And after nun, ang culminating activity is a job fair.
Oh,
So that after we train and certify them on cloud, we match them with a potential employer. So I think we are on our 10th or 11th batch. Every batch, mga 30 to 35 students. So that is our continuing commitment, no? AWS Restart.
I assume lahat yun na-absorb nung mga
Maganda
companies,
ang hit rate namin. I think we are in the 90s, Melvin, in terms of job placement. No, I can give you the exact details
Kasi demand
later
is
on.
outstripping the supply, di ba?
Oo. And then ito kasi talaga parang from training to certification to job placement. I mean, complete, no? End to end. We partner with universities as well in terms of including cloud and AI in their curriculum. For example, Ateneo de Manila, meron silang Ateneo Innovation program, sandbox program. So we give them credit so that students who are keen on building using AI can do so, but within the guardrails of Ateneo. So we have that. We've also partnered with TESDA and MFI, Meralco Foundation, on cloud and AI as well. So they are offering curriculum that's based on AWS to their students.
Ito libre ba to?
The one of it's according to how TESDA rolls out their program. Si TESDA din launched their Skills Passport app on AWS. So they built the app, they launched it, they're running it on AWS, and in that app, yung mga TESDA students are able to publish their credentials, and then later on, para they can look for jobs or employers, potential employers can see them on the application. We are now in the stage where classes and courses on cloud and AI will also be available through the app para on demand. So we have been partnering with all of these institutions kasi skilling is really important.
Hindi, matanong ko lang, those people trained in AWS technologies, are they being also pirated or going outside of the country? Kasi yung dati sa
Brain drain.
SAP, sa
Brain drain pa rin,
Microsoft,
no?
sa Cisco, yun ang naging problema eh.
Oo. I don't have the data points, Melvin, to answer the question right
Pero
now.
hindi ko lang maano kung it's either weird or it's a good thing. Kasi di ba when I started this kanina sa episode na to, sinabi ko na yung mga SMEs, dahil hindi nila kailangan ng mga tech people, kaya mag-AWS sila. Technically, wala na trabaho yung mga IT people. Pero now, you're reskilling people naman to use AI. So, so you're now giving jobs na may skills sila sa AI. Is AWS already implementing AI technology na, yun na nga, doon mismo sa platform?
Okay, so maybe I can share about recent announcements and launches of AWS when it comes to AI solutions and services. So to your point, hindi lang naman tech IT ang gumagamit ng AI. In fact, everyone in the organization, everyone in the business should be using AI. So as an example, AWS launched Amazon Quick. It is a desktop application. It's more than just a chatbot. It has context of your data. It can connect to your email. It can connect to Slack, for example, or whatever dashboard you have, so that when you query or you ask it a question that you can use for work, hindi ka naman IT, you're a knowledge worker, you will be able to get your answer, and it can create content also for you. So that's Amazon Connect, no? So hindi naman yan pang IT lang.
Pang
so
IT
it's
lang,
for everyone. If you are a developer, we have launched Kiro, which is an IDE, AI-powered IDE that developers can use from ideation to gathering information, to actual coding, to debugging, and then publishing it, and then scaling it across the organization and continue to modernize and iterate, right? So that is Kiro for you. And if you want to go tech, and there are companies that want to modernize their application, we've also released AWS Transform, right? So for legacy applications built on, let's say, .NET or Java, which will normally take years to modernize. Ngayon, you can use AWS Transform to make it easier kasi it's AI-powered. So kumbaga, Jing, my point is, kanina pinag-uusapan natin, organizations of different sizes, of different industries. Ito naman, within an organization, depende kung ano yung trabaho mo doon. Are you from the business unit? Are you from IT? Are you managing infra? Are you coding? Are you a developer? There is an AI tool for you.
No, okay.
Interesting point yun yung legacy, the word legacy, because I remember sometime 2018, we attended an AWS summit in the US, and they said that there will be no AWS legacy system because it will proceed forward. Yung mga, alam mo yun, because it's based on the cloud, nothing will be left behind. If you are a subscriber, you will always get what is the newest from the platform.
Pero magkaganda nga doon, yung AWS technology can work,
Can work with that. Yeah.
existing legacy.
Existing
Oo.
legacy
We can help
systems.
modernize.
Oo.
We can help modernize it.
Anyway, Precious, siguro, are we on the
Yeah.
end ng ano natin, ng show natin, no? 20 years ng AWS, 10 years for AWS Philippines. What's next? In the
Yeah.
next
10 years.
And more.
More, yes,
No?
yeah.
Sige. So now that we are in the age of AI, so our commitment to the Philippines is that we will continue to invest in skilling programs for our people, regardless of what your line of work is.
Yes.
No? We will continue to invest in infrastructure the same way that we have invested in local zone, and I've mentioned before, for companies and organizations that are wanting to leverage the cloud and artificial intelligence in the way that they work, the way that they serve their customers and their employees, AWS is the best place to do that. And we have programs to support depending and regardless of where you are in your journey.
Do you think AI pa rin maging the rage the next couple of years?
AI is definitely a game changer. So, kumbaga, after the internet and cloud,
Yes.
it is the most exciting and
Transformative
transformative
technology.
technology. That's why we all need to get our hands dirty, kumbaga, when it comes to AI.
Sige. Okay, abangan namin yan kasi nihintay namin yung 5 billion.
Ayaw mo talagang gawin.
Ayaw bitawan. Baka nandun yung AI. Kasama yung AI doon.
Exciting times. Kasi syempre,
Exciting.
mag-i-invest di ba?
Exciting.
There's
Yes.
no,
Commitment na yan eh.
no way to go but move forward. Yun lang naman yun.
Oo, di ba? So,
Okay, on that note,
we'd like to thank, unless you
you.
still have,
That's it. That's my message,
that's
no?
all.
Yeah. But thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for supporting AWS, and we're always happy to share sa mga viewers nyo what AWS has been doing and how we can help them.
okay, exciting times for the Philippine tech industry
Yes,
and of course,
sigurado
and
yan.
AWS. And happy anniversary as well.
Happy
Thank
anniversary.
you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Isang dekada na. Okay, we'd like to thank Miss Precious Lee, Country Manager of AWS Philippines, and of course, our host, venue host, PLDT, Ramon Coangco Building here in Makati, and of course, our friends from Limang Siglo led by J.R. Contreras. Ito, Tribs.
Yes, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Maraming salamat, Precious. I'd like to use the opportunity to make a shameless plug. TMT 500 is out. I was the associate editor of TMT 500. Our topic is AI innovation, workplace transformation. 200 pages of nothing but AI po.
Ayun, transformation, no?
Yes.
Hindi natin masyadong na-explore, pero part yan ng ano.
So, maraming salamat po. Tito
yes,
Jing?
since AI pinag-usapan dun sa TMT 500, sigurado ako yung nagsulat nun.
Yan, Tito Jing.
Anyway, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. At nagpapaalam na po ang Tech Sabado for this Saturday. Until next week, magandang gabi po sa inyo. At siyempre sa lahat ng mga nanonood all over the world dito sa World Wide Web. Thank you. Goodbye and good night.